Hello, it's Giles here from Wolverhampton Audi. Now this is a quick handover video for the Audi E-Tron. Just going to cover some of the main features, functions, how to use your new car. Now this one particular model here is the sportback version, fitted with the virtual mirrors, but a lot of I'm going to say is going to apply to whichever model in the range. So really cool looking things these. We'll have a look at those in a moment. So first things first, your key. Same as most of our Audi models. So this has got advanced key, so it's got the shiny sort of key case. That's how you can tell normally if it's got an advanced key option. That's not a steadfast rule, but it's sometimes a little giveaway. This does have, I just need two hands for this 1 second. There you go, the little pull-out emergency key. So if the car's battery is flat, there is a little place here, you can just pop that in, pop off the cover, and there's an actual sort of proper lock in there. And as I mentioned, if the car's battery is flat, now interestingly this is obviously a full electronic vehicle, full EV. So it has a high voltage system, but it does still have a 12 volt system to run things like the central locking, entertainment system, etc, etc. If the car's left for extended periods of time, that battery can go flat, so it's just something to be mindful of. So on the key, you've got your 3 buttons, top button to lock it, double press to open the boot. And obviously bottom button to unlock the car. When you turn the car on or unlock the car, you've seen the little light signature. I'm just going to close the boot, so just show you that again because it is pretty cool. So let's just lock the vehicle. Well, it's not going to do now because it's got the follow me home lights on, so they're going to stay on for sort of 30 seconds. So that's the key point. When you get out of the car at night time, the lights will stay on for about 30 seconds, just to allow you to lead you to your driveway, and then they'll switch themselves off. Again, no separate fog lights on these. The lights, or all weather lights, are actually built into the headlight there. Okay, so that's gone off now, so let's just switch that on. Let's do a bit closer. And at the back. Super. So as you're outside the car, let's touch on one of the main things, which is charging points. So there's 2 charging flaps on this car. On this side you've got the 7 pin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pin output on there. Probably won't really use that one too much, but on the other side here you've got the charging point, which is for rapid charge. Some cool little features on this side. There's a little light above there which is very handy at night time. Also if you press that little flap closes itself. Really cool little function. Now a couple of things to mention on charging. So normally if you're using this charger point, this will be the one where the cable's actually attached to the wall point. It's the one that supplies the highest voltage, up to 150 kilowatts this car will take. To charge it, plug it in and you'll see this light will start flashing. It takes about 30 seconds while the car communicates with the charging box. Tells it how much power it can accept. The charging box tells the car how much power it can give out, etc, etc. Once it starts flashing green, that says the car's actually charging. Any of these, yellow means there's no power, red means there's an issue. Once the charger's in, if you lock the car, it will actually lock the lead in place. When you come to take the lead out, press unlock, and then make sure you press this button here. That will actually release the cable and then pull it out. There are a couple of fail safes. If for any reason there is a problem with the charger not releasing, so I'll show you underneath the bonnet. So same as all our Audis, to open the bonnet, middle of the badge, there's a lever that just goes to the left hand side there. Underneath here there are two little tabs, which is an emergency release. One is for the actual flap and the other one is for releasing the pin out of the cable. Now, word of caution, be very, very careful what you do with these if you do pull them out, because it can easily, if you don't locate them in there, they can ping down the actual wing and they're quite hard to recover. So yeah, if you do have to use them in emergency, just be careful that you don't let go of it and it pings down the sides of the wing. There is one, of course, on both sides. So under the bonnet, of course, there's no internal combustion engine, but you do have a compartment here. Normally underneath this will contain a 3-phase charger lead. See if we can get inside here. The charger transformer, this has got on the other side a 3-pin plug attached to it. Again, this is probably going to be used in very rare, an emergency use really, because it'll probably take about two and a bit days to fully charge a car off a 3-pin plug, 240 volts. So the recommended way to charge this car is at home. Make sure you get a pod point installed. I'm just going to walk over here and show you. So home wall charger, normally 7 kilowatts. You can have that on the outside wall. The E-Tron actually comes free with that, so if you have taken delivery of this car, you should have already had that installed by now. And of course, if your services, the best case scenario is to find one of the rapid chargers. Underneath the engine cover, sorry. Again, this is probably the only reason you're going to open this up, or to get your charging cables out of there, but your washer fluid goes in there. All the orange cables denote high voltage system. These cables actually run the low voltage 12 volt system. But that's pretty much all there is to be looking at underneath here. So feeds to the, I think I have a battery cooling or air conditioning. I have to double check on that. But again, something that'll be looked at through service. Let's go around to the back of the car and have a look at the boot. So double click to open the boot, and again underneath the boot floor there is a nice big compartment where we'll normally keep the charging cables. There's quite a bit of space actually underneath this boot floor. Subwoofer for the sound system. You've got your tethering points in the 4 corners. There's lovely LED strip lights. Should come with your cargo net, which you can latch down onto these. First aid kit, high-vis jacket, user manuals in the back there as well. This parcel shelf will just pull out towards you, so it just slides out. It's a fixed parcel shelf that just pops down on there. Slightly different if you go for the estate version E-Tron, I think it's a tonneau cover that pulls out. Oops, let's try and line that up. It's hard to do this with one hand and hold the camera. There we go. So that just locates in there. If you are putting something bulky in, you do sometimes have to remove this extra panel cover as well, so literally just twist that there, it will release and just unhook. Underneath you've got warning triangle just there, then you've got your buttons to close the boot. As you can see, it's pretty hard to see through this tinted glass now. I was just going to show you the parcel shelf fully connected there. Rear view camera, parking sensors on the sides and obviously the rear. This one, like I say, has got the cool virtual mirrors. There's a camera there for the 360 camera, and also the front underneath the badge. There's another camera. So inside the car, so our start button is just there. Now the motor's on because we've jumped up to ready. Tells you your range there, top left hand corner. Like all our other Audis, these buttons control what's in the center screen. So car details, if there's anything wrong with the car, so saying one of the tyre pressures is incorrect at the moment. Media, phone and satellite navigation. MMI system switched off for the moment, so if I press that it will spring it into action. I have done some other videos on things like the A3, Q2. The MMI systems are very similar, so I'm going to briefly just run through this. But home takes you to the home menu, and then you can go for your parameters. So if you want radio, literally just scroll through the radio stations you want, click on that and volume up and down. Very intuitive to use. The key is just to look on the screen, so more will give you some other options. So if I like this radio station, I can actually store this as a shortcut, so that will actually now appear down on this lower screen. So the lower screen is normally for well, you can see there you've got your temperature, so climate control, heated seats at the bottom there. But there's my shortcut, so I can actually save telephone numbers, radio stations, navigation, destinations on that section there. This button will switch off the top screen. You can't actually switch off the bottom climate control screen. And if I click on that, it extends it back up. Also, no, if I click on that, that gets rid of that, right. To adjust the temperature, you can either use it as a scroll or click on these like a button. Same with the temperature. AC means the air conditioning is blowing. AC max obviously is blowing super hard. Auto will achieve whichever temperature the quickest way possible, blowing air in whichever direction. But you can also force the air into a direction that you prefer. It's towards the windscreen, towards your feet, towards the seat. That switches the system off. Pressing that's brought up this additional menu. We can see we can actually control this. Got 4-zone climate control in this, so we can control the rear temperature from the front here. This button controls your camera. So this has a 360 camera. Do have different modes on this, so we can actually click on there. So there's a wheel view, front and rear, wide angle reverse, normal reverse, top view, that's forward, and well, wide angle forward and forward, and then the 3D view, which again you can sort of spin around, which is really cool. Parking sensors will always automatically engage as soon as you put it into reverse or you manoeuvre too close to something. While we're on cameras, let's have a look at these, because these are unique to this model, so this might not be on your particular one. You might have conventional door mirrors. If that's the case, you'll have a control just here. But this has got the virtual mirrors, which are really cool. To control these, literally just click on the screen and you can actually adjust. So press that, and we can adjust the oh, sorry, I'm pointing it to the wrong one there. So you can adjust the direction of the mirror. If I click that, it will then adjust this one. They're always automatically dimming, and they also automatically adjust for range depending on your speed. So on the motorway, they give you a wider view. Underneath that, you've got the buttons which lock the car. So when you drive the car over 10 miles an hour, it will lock itself. Press that button to unlock. Light controls are just here. Wiper controls are there. Again, they're automatic. Indicators, cruise control. So this has got the tour pack, so it's adaptive cruise control on this one. To engage the system, you literally just pull the lever towards you. Once you hit your desired speed, press set. Okay, so we're not moving, so it's not letting us do that, but you can actually change the there we go. So you can see I'm rocking that switch there, and it's changing the distance of the car in front of you, so the gap in front. It'll obviously lock onto the car in front and adjust the distance and the speed according to your car or vehicle in front. So that's your controls just there. Just want to go through a couple of specific options to the E-Tron, some things that we sometimes overlook on handover but can be very, very important for use of this car. If we go into car, so Audi Drive Select, obviously we can go through the different driving modes, efficiency, comfort. You can change the level of the suspension as well, so in dynamic it automatically lowers it. If you go into comfort, can't speak, it will actually raise the car, so that's starting to rise slightly. Kind of pick that up on the camera. There is an off-road on this off-road mode on this as well, which will lift the car to its highest setting. But along with that, it's also adjusting the way the steering feels, the way the throttle responds. I was going to say the way the gearbox acts, but there's no gears on this. But yeah, just the way the throttle responds, really. Coming back out of that, this is an important menu on the E-Tron, so car details. So you have a screen here which tells you how much range you have left. Now, if at the minute our air conditioning is actually off, so if I just switch that on, you can see that me switching on the air conditioning, and let's turn some heated seats and stuff on. Let's exit that mode. I'm actually consuming an extra 56 miles if I'm just going to sit here using all of these consumers. Range mode, if you are getting to a point where you're really conscious about your range, if you click this, what it will do is knock off any unnecessary consumers of power, so air conditioning, heated seats. It also limits the, I don't know if you've seen that there, so on the speedometer you can see it limits the speed to 55 miles an hour. We've still got 100%, we're able to use 100% of the power. Now in emergency, if you did need to exceed 55 miles an hour, you literally just put your foot on the floor, like kick down, and it will sort of jump over that, so that's not a problem. But yeah, if you're really conscious or worried about if you're going to make it to your destination low on power, you can select range mode and it will just knock everything off that's not particularly necessary. I just want to show you, whilst we're on this state here, you should have covered this on the test drive, but these two paddles on the steering wheel, similar to a geared car, it sort of changes down a gear, up a gear. I say that, I know there's no gears, but it gives you that feel of changing down the gear. On the left hand one, this is an all important system, so if you can see, if I just zoom in on this here, if I press the left hand paddle down once, you can see that little white tab, and press it again, double tab. Now this will actually slow the car down, so it feels like when you're driving, like changing down the gears. What it's actually doing is using the regenerative power to slow the vehicle down rather than the brakes. So if you take your foot off the brake, off the accelerator, sorry, you'll feel the car slow down. You can change how aggressive that is by 1 stage or 2 stage. And then pressing this will allow you to access the, like if you're pressing up paddle, allow you to access the additional boost in some of the modes, which again we should have covered on the test drive. Driver assist, I will cover this just quickly because there's some cool features on this. So we've got distance warning, Audi presense, it's the automatic braking. There's a camera at the top here which just tracks the car in front. Side assist. I was just going to, sorry for my pause in there. So normally on side assist, on your mirror there's like a little orange tab, but on this one you'll have the actual mirror will flash orange or red, depending if there's a car in your blind spot. Emergency assist, so that's where it automatically calls emergency services if there's ever a problem. And exit warning assist for pulling out of parking spaces, etc. You'll get a jolt on the brakes and also a beep. So users which will connect to your My Audi account will run through all of that. News and weather, obviously you can look at local news and weather, funny enough. But yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Other things that are kind of unique to this car, you've got a charging point just down there. You can see that wireless charging. This compartment you can actually cover up. And then 2 USB inputs, SIM card, SD card. Oh, actually, I'm just seeing the lights there, so I'm just going to show you that because that's something I've not touched upon before. If we go to, car settings, lights and vision, background lighting. So you can have these preset lighting scenarios. So you've got the really cool contour light there. There's also a wash of colour in the footwells. But my favourite, if we go to individual, so we can change the colours of the surface. So show something that's a bit more pronounced. And the colour of the contours. So you can really personalise the car. So that's really neat. But that was hidden under car and then settings, lights and vision. Car, take it back, lights and vision. Parking aid, again you can mess about with the volume, the tone of the sensors, cross traffic assist, switch that on and off. All seats, actually, let's cover you in this. Easy entry for seats, as your seat will move back when you switch off the ignition. SOS emergency buttons there. You actually need to push that down. There's a red button underneath if you do need to call emergency services. Breakdown cover, the button's just there. This has got the panoramic sunroof. So you've got the two-stage. There's the electronic blind. It's also fully opening as well. It does have a tilt function. So if I push up, it just tilts and then pull down to close. These are touch sensitive, that switches on and off. And yeah, this is like I say, real brief insight into the Audi E-Tron. Yeah, there's a lot more I can do on this, to be fair. We will cover stuff if I see you in person. If you are just watching this video, please do ask me if there's anything you want me to have a look at in particular. But just wanted to give you a brief insight into the E-Tron. It's an absolutely beautiful car, phenomenal to drive, and hopefully you get to experience one soon. Again, thanks for watching. See you soon.